Hey guys, it's William from AI Rev, bringing you yet another on-demand demo. Now today we've got a pretty interesting video lined up. So what we're going to be doing is essentially building something within on-demand and then using Replit to take it and build it into a full-scale application. So within on-demand, we'll obviously be defining the AI functionality, and sort of the use case that we've settled on for today's video is we want to build a blog posting site that extracts content from your already existing website, goes and conducts further research, and then refines it to make it SEO friendly. So we've got all the tools available for this within the on-demand platform, and we'll be building this within the playground before we can then export the code, and then we'll be checking out Replit to build this even further. So without any further ado, let's dive into today's video. So as you can see right now, we're inside of the on-demand platform. You'll see here on the right hand side, we've got the tools that we've chosen for today's video. And just to kind of walk you through what we're going to be doing here. So we've got Perplexity enabled, and this is going to be doing, a deeper internet research based on how we're sort of prompting this. We've got our SEO website metric analyzer. So this is going to be scraping the content from our already existing website, kind of identifying what's already SEO relevant, what's kind of SEO friendly. And then we're going to be using the search engine optimization refiner tool here. And this is going to take our already existing keywords from our website and then also from our generated blog post. It's going to make sure that everything stays SEO relevant, SEO friendly, just to ensure that, when we're obviously building a blog, we're trying to draw as much eyes to it as possible, but we also want the relevant eyes to it. We don't want it just to be showing up to anyone. With search engine optimization, as I'm sure you all know, that kind of brings your blog post and sort of the content that you're posting out there, it brings it higher up into these Google searches, ensuring that the content that you're pushing stays relevant, and also the audience that you're attracting is exactly the kind of people you're looking for. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to test everything within the on-demand platform itself. You can see here we've put reasoning mode high on. This is just to allow for sort of higher thinking capabilities and allow the AI to kind of have a bit more freedom outside of what we're just prompting it. We're allowing it to kind of take what we're initially prompting and expand upon that and go and determine for itself the best course of action in order to achieve the results we're kind of looking for here. So if we go ahead, we'll test it within on-demand first before we then go ahead and build this full application. So the prompt that we're going to be using today is we're prompting that we're creating a blog post and we need you to analyze the content on our website, ondemand.io. We want you to extract all the keywords that you can and then go and research the latest AI advancements from the past month using Perplexity before then drafting your findings into a blog post. Now, importantly, we're now specifying that once you've done this, we then need you to refine the content even further to make it SEO friendly and ensure the content relates closely with your findings from ondemand.io. That's sort of the initial prompt. So this, again, the entire results that we get here, this is based from a single natural language prompt. So we're going to go ahead and click run, and we'll analyze the results once we retrieve them. Now received our output, we can go ahead and scroll through this. So scrolling straight to the top here, you can see how an execution plan was created, and then our prompt was initially broken down into different subtasks. So interestingly enough, you can see that it used Perplexity to analyze the content on the on-demand website, which is quite interesting. You can see here it's used Perplexity to analyze this, and then we can obviously see that it has been successful here, status code 200. Then we've reanalyzed the prompt because we've obviously completed that subtask, and now we're searching for the latest AI advancements, once again using Perplexity, and once again we can see that this has been successful, status code 200. And then you can see here reanalyzing the prompt, and so we've retrieved the agent here, the search engine optimization refiner tool, which is exactly what we needed. And once again we can see that this was successful with another status code 200. Then going ahead and looking at our actual output that we received here, you can see it's given us a nice SEO relevant title, driving on-demand success with the latest AI innovations. So introduction, key features, we've got recent AI advancements here where you can see we've obviously got generative AI for DevOps, multimodal AI visual monitoring, edge AI for low latency computing, so on and so forth. So you can see how all of this has been compiled into a blog post for us to use. So I'd go ahead and say that this was successful, and now we can take this to the next level. So obviously in order to do this, we need to click get code. Now I'm going to use Python here. just because this is the language that I am most familiar with. So, any issues that we may encounter when we're obviously vibe coding this further, it just helps if you already have sort of a prior understanding. Now, that's not a prerequisite, that is not mandatory whatsoever, but in my experience, I just like to be able to see what's going on and also understand exactly what is being processed on the screen in front of me. So you can see here, we've got the code here. That was super fast. So we can go ahead and copy this code, and now we're going to go ahead and open up Replit to take this even further. Great, so we are now in Replit, and here is the prompt that we're using to sort of build this full-scale application. So we've specified that we want to build a full blog posting website that has the functionality to create and publish blog posts onto the site. I will obviously provide the code functionality for the AI blog creator, and then we've specified that we want there to be a main page with blog posts for people you follow. So we've specified that we obviously want this to be somewhat similar to Instagram, where you've got your own profile where you can see your personal posts. You can also then see people that you're following and also people that are following you. We've asked it to go ahead and build this, so then we can refine it further together. And then we've pasted in the code that we've just exported from the playground. Now, the only last step here is obviously within that code, you will have seen that we needed to paste in our OnDemand API key. So for the AI functionality, use the Python code that I've provided, and this is my API key for integration. So getting the API key is super easy. So if we head over back into OnDemand here, we can close down the code export here, and you'll see API key in the top right-hand corner. If we go ahead and click this, we can then create a new secret key, and we'll name this one Replit blog, for example. And then we'll go ahead and create the secret key, and then we'll copy it right here. Now, all we need to do is head back into Replit, paste this here, and we'll start building, and I'll check in with you once we have our first draft. Okay, so now we are back and we have the full-scale application fully built. So before we go ahead and dive into the application itself, let's just have a look here on the left-hand side. Obviously, you would have just seen it fast-forwarding through all of this. It took 15 minutes, which was, obviously, this is quite a bit of time. But once again, when you consider in that this was running solely by itself, this needed no further input. Right now, this is solely what Replit has built using the prompt and the code that I have given it. So that 15 minutes, in this instance, I obviously spent looking at the screen, but in any other instance, you can spend that working on your other tasks. You can spend that, maybe even designing something, refining something even further, so that once it is complete, you can take it to the next level. So if we go ahead and look, you can see this was our initial prompt that we put in, and we can see that Replit broke it down based on your request. I understand you want to build a comprehensive blog posting platform, project summary, AI-powered blog creation using obviously the OnDemand API that we have given it, social media functionality with a follower system, just like we specified, personal profiles, and then blog post creation and publishing. So it's identified all of the key aspects that we wanted from our prompt. Then you can see here blog stream. This is when it started the plan for this. So you can see all the different kind of requests and components that it is installed. So we can go ahead and scroll through this, and then we can see the final output we've got here where it successfully built our social blogging platform. Here's what it's created. Landing page with a beautiful gradient. Looks very similar to Instagram. User authentication system using Replit Auth. Okay, very interesting. AI-powered blog post creation using your provided API. This is the most important part. This is what we want to test. But then again, just looking over, everything else, Instagram style social features, personal feed, recommended posts, personal profile, and responsive design. So we can see this is fantastic. This is, based on the prompt that we're reading so far, exactly what we have requested it to build. So now let's go ahead and look at Blogsphere, which is obviously the application that it has created. So we can go ahead, we can just scroll through this, everything you need to succeed, AI blog creator, social community, ready to start your blogging journey, sign up now. So if we go ahead and click get started, let's see where this takes us. Okay, so we did face an issue there where, our session seemed to have crashed. It seemed to have a session timeout. That may have been because we opened it in an incognito window and we left this one idle. So we'll go ahead and we'll just test it now actually within Replit itself. So if we go ahead, click get started here. So we are once again back into the platform itself. We're going to check out the AI blog creator again. We're going to give it the same blog topic. We're going to set it to professional and the length to medium, and then we're going to go ahead and click generate blog. Okay, and it's gone ahead and generated the blog for us. So it's given us the title based on the sort of description that we gave it. Then it's got our content here. Scroll through this, looks strong. It is an HTML format, but this is very interesting. So then if we go ahead, we've obviously got our tags as well of AI, web development, and automation. If we click publish blog, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And we can see success, your blog has been published. So now if we go ahead and refresh this page here, so we went ahead and refreshed the page. You can now see this is reflected here that we have one post on our page. So if we go ahead and check out our profile here, we can scroll down and we can check out our posts. So it has now published this post for us. It's got our tags right here in the bottom right hand corner, and it's exactly what we just created. So what's super interesting about this is that actual blog functionality was created solely with OnDemand. So we built that and we tested it within the OnDemand platform. We then used the get code feature and brought that into Replit, a vibe coding application. And now we've got a fully fledged sort of blog posting application in the same style as Instagram through just a single natural language prompt. We could go ahead and we can refine this even further. We can add in, our own title, our own logo, so on and so forth. But just based off the prompt that we initially gave this and the functionality that we have here, it suits all of our criteria and it's using OnDemand, which is fantastic. So this has taken approximately 30 minutes for us to go from actually building this and testing this with an OnDemand, using a range of different agent tools, and then taking this out of OnDemand by exporting the code and using Replit to build a full-scale application for, a social media platform designed specifically for blog posting. We can see that it works with OnDemand and it's required very little input from us. One thing I am a big fan of with Replit is all of the placeholder text. It's generated it all itself and it hasn't required any input from us, and everything is relevant. Everything looks fantastic from what I can see. So this is just yet another testament of how OnDemand is integrating with, sort of legacy AI products to go ahead and help you streamline these AI integrations. Whether you've got little to no mobile or web development sort of skills, we can see here how, a range of these different tools kind of really bring down the entrance barriers into creating these AI products. We've used OnDemand and we built a fully fledged application solely through natural language and in a very short time frame. And even whilst this was going ahead and being built, we could have done anything else. We could have focused on other tasks, and it really is just a testament to kind of how AI is advancing, and it's really interesting to see, sort of how capable these platforms are. Anyway, that's going to be all from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video, and stay tuned for what we'll be pushing throughout the rest of this week. We've got some exciting things planned, and I'll catch you in the next one.